Yeah, I'm out driving on the sand again. Doing a little bit of practicing out here. This time I got my tires down a little bit lower, deflated them. I am deflated down to about 35 pounds. And so far today I've been out some really thick, deep sand, and it just went right through it. And I'm just out here practicing again. This is the spot I stayed in the last time I was here. And you can see how easily this thing goes up into it this time. There's some nice thick, deep sand here. And it's just going right through it. There's a nice little campground here. Went up and explored that earlier. But the tide's coming in, so I want to get out of this area. Where I am right now here, this will all be underwater shortly. And there's not much of an access up on top on the dry spot, so I'm working my way out before the tide submerges all this. It's going to be a nice day. I had some early morning fog naturally. We tend to get that a lot here. But it's starting to burn off now. Got some ATVs coming up behind me here. Looks like they're going to pass me. 3 of them so far. And that's how you have fun. Once I finish practicing some more out on the sand here, the next step is to get my trailer hooked up with the ATV in it, and bring it out here and practice at the sand. Practice my mobility. And get up on the high side here. You see how this is nasty, thick sand. I'm slipping probably a little bit, but I'm maneuvering. I can maneuver through it. And that's what's important, as long as I don't get stuck. If I can keep going, that's what this is all about. Oh, it looks like there's a coyote here. Yeah, coyote prints. Just wandering now. Decided it was gonna run down the trail until it took off into the side here. A couple of leaves, and it was up in the brush. Oh, it came back down. Oh, there's old Coyote Trail there. Old coyote tracks. This is getting to be fun now. You see how thick this is? Nasty, deep, soft sand. I'm just playing in it now, practicing driving, maneuvering in it. Just keeping my engine steady, keeping the wheels turning. I'm not bogging down at all. I'm just continuing to move through it. This is what I want. This is the practice I need to build up confidence of what this modified Class-B will do out here. 23 years old, giving it a lot more life, usefulness by getting that 4x4 conversion. Could have gotten a truck. I never liked trucks. You know, I just don't like trucks. I only had a truck for a short period of time. It was a junky old truck, you know, a 1-ton pickup that I was using it to bring landscaping materials to a home I had purchased a long time ago. And I was re-landscaping the backyard and putting up a fence and stuff. And I needed stone, I needed, you know, gravel, I needed wood, materials. And I just bought it for a short term. The thing was, I ought to put a sheet of plywood in the bed because it was all rusted out. you know, it was just a tool. I needed it for a while, used it, and then got rid of it. Piece of junk. But I've never liked trucks. Never liked trucks. You know, my first van was an old 67 VW bus, 4-banger in the back. Hit a ball with it. Took cross-country trips in. So I've always been a van person. If I had a vehicle like that. And it wasn't, you know, I used to do a lot of motorcycle trips. I had a nice motorcycle in 700 and had a little trailer that I used behind it that I could open up into a single berth. So I used to do a lot of cross-country trips, going to expos and meetups and owner group things. But come, you know, with age comes lack of concentration. And long rides, you know, I did 1,000-mile rides. I do long, day-long drives. You know, and I was going from one end of the country to the other. So realized I wasn't paying attention to the road as much as I needed to. Just self-realization. You know, motorcycle, you have to concentrate on the road constantly. You go into a turn, you have to be balanced on the bike to do a lean into the turn. And if you don't, well, the bike's not going to turn. And if you're not concentrating and you come into a curve, you can't make that turn. You're either off a cliff, off the road somewhere, or wrapped around a tree. And realized that. And decided I can't do those long rides anymore. And I decided I was going to go to 4 wheels. Yeah, I did something like this, a van or something. And I just take the motorcycle, and when I get to the expo or a meetup or group, wherever I was going, then I would just unload the motorcycle, do whatever I was going to do. But this opened up, you know, a whole new world, having an RV. And as soon as I always thought, you know, as soon as I realized that you could get a Class-B, a van, converted to 4x4, I knew that's the road I was going. Because this is the kind of stuff I could do with that. The freedom to go out and not worrying about being stuck. I am not a social person that just wants to stay in RV parks. Not at all. You know, I rarely, you know, I've stayed in an RV park out of necessity sometimes, but it's just nothing that I plan on doing, going from one RV park to another RV park. I just don't do that. And there's too much dispersed camping. Forest, national forest, state forests, BLM, Corps of Engineer land. I'm just putting lawn in here. You know, I would have an easier time if I probably picked up my speed, and it carries you through a lot of your softer spots here, but this is practice to see how well this maneuvers in this kind of material, these conditions. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just practicing, learning, developing technique. Too many people just go out and just do it without preparing for what they're going to do in the future. You know, I might run into a spot like this in the dark, and I want to have the skills already developed, the muscle memory, everything just already developed, so that I can automatically do it. Naturally, the girl in their group, she's on the phone talking to somebody. Yeah, this looks like a little campground here too. I could pull into there. By the area where those trailers were. Nice, just sitting on a tree. That looks like he's out shooting. This is where the trailers were. That little buzzing in the background you hear? It's my air compressors. I've got some air compressors for onboard air, so I can inflate my tires when I want to. And I've got my air lockers on right now on the rear. And so it's important. And the air locker holds, the air holds the air lockers engaged, so that both wheels, on one axle, it's placed inside the differential. And normally you have wheels that will, whichever wheel has traction, power will go to that wheel. So you have one wheel that's not driving, and you have one wheel that is driving. I'll switch back and forth. If as one slips, the other one will engage. Whichever one has the most grip, it's a limited slip differential. What the air locker does is lock both wheels to keep turning, whether they have traction or not. So and that gives you better driving ability out on rough kind of conditions like this. And I had the air lockers put on both the rear and the front. Here's some more of this thick crap. Practicing driving and this stuff. You see the ruts, just crossing, trying to see how well I can steer in and out of the ruts. You never know when you have to feather the throttle. This is what I'm developing the I was supposed to leave the passenger seat off with the upholsterer tomorrow. Feeling like a pepper, I might swing by there today, and he had to move some of his vehicles, finish up some projects that he was working on, and make room. But I'm only one seat. Swing by and ask him if I can drop it off today. If I can do that, then I can pick up the trailer and come back on out here. It's going to be a nice day. And I want to practice with the trailer. Okay, time to